Hi and welcome to MTG Managed. It's been a long time since we did spoilers, and why not just do all of the spoilers at one time? So today we're going to go through all the rare cards in M15 being spoiled so far, and let's go. And first up we have our Ingaruk's Wake, our sorcery spell for 9 mana, destroy all creatures you don't control and all planeswalker you don't control. So basically the more expensive side grade to Damnation, and yeah, pretty interesting, very high mana cost, would be great in EDH game, otherwise I don't see it being played, but still it's a very fantastic art for M15. So let's move on to the next card. Lots of crazy shit in N15, so let's get on to it. And next up we have our Stormtide Leviathan, our 8/8 creature Leviathan for 8 mana with Island Walk. All lands are islands in addition to their other types. Creatures without flying or Island Walk can attack. So basically with this on the field, you are guaranteed sort of the definite win. Super limited bomb. And there goes Stormtide Leviathan. I'm pretty sure this is going to be in the Clash packs in N15. Usually these sort of limited bombing creatures are in the rare promos in Clash packs or intro packs. And next up, let's see what we have. We have our Mass Calcify. Is that how to pronounce it? It's a sorcery spell for 7, destroy all non-white creatures. So there you go, it is sort of a refi card, but for non-white creatures. So white mini decks or mono-white decks, might be a good thing in M15, and we'll see more of those cards in the stack later on. And moving on, we have our Restock, our sorcery spell for 5. Return 2 target cards from your graveyard to your hand, remove Restock from the game, and basically it's your Golgari type deck card. Restock. And next up, let's see, we have our Hoarding Dragon, our 4/4 dragon creature for 5 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact, exile it, then shuffle your library. When Hoarding Dragon is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may put the exile card into its owner's hand. So basically a 4/4 flyer that allows you to search your card and put it into your hand, but with a very interesting condition is that you need the dragon to die, so pretty nice. And next card that we have for today is Hornet Queen, our 2/2 insect creature for 7 with flying and death touch. When it enters the battlefield, put 4/1/1 green insect creature tokens with flying and death touch onto the battlefield. And again, it's another limited bomb. I think it's extremely annoying. I can see this being played in EDH to just annoy the shit out of everyone. So there you go, Hornet Queen. And moving on to the next card, we have our Spirit Bonds, our enchantment spell for 2. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay white. If you do, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Extremely powerful! You can pay 1 and white, sacrifice a spirit. Target non-spirit creature gets indestructible until the end of turn. This is extremely crazy. Spirit Bonds. I can see this being played right away in Standard. Is extremely awesome. Creating tokens every now and then, and having ability to give other stuff indestructible is super awesome. And it only costs you 2 to cast this enchantment. So there you go. And with Theros block in Standard, with constellation triggers and stuff, this is definitely going to be played. Spirit Bonds. And next up, let's see what we have for the day. And we have Yavimaya Master Polymorphous, our 2/2 human wizard legendary creature for 4. You can pay 2 and blue, tap, sacrifice another creature, reveal cards from the top of the library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield and rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So yeah, basically give you a pseudo card advantage, Yavimaya Master Polymorphous. And next card, we have our Soul of New Phyrexia. I cannot emphasize how good this card is with all the souls being spoiled in M15. I think this is the best soul being released. It's a 6/6 avatar artifact creature for 6 with trample. You can pay 5. Permanents you control gains indestructible. You can pay another 5. Exile new Phyrexia, Soul of New Phyrexia from your graveyard. Permanents you control gains indestructible until end of turn. This is extremely useful. It's a bomb and limited. It might even see standard play. There's quite a few artifact support cards in M15, so we might see artifacts being played in standard. And of course, Soul of New Phyrexia is extremely useful in EDH just to keep all your stuff alive from all the rare cards, from all the mass bob wipes. So there you go, Soul of New Phyrexia. In my opinion, I think that's the best soul in all of the soul cycles. And next card that we have our Return to the Ranks with it's a sorcery spell for X and white with Convoke. So again, Convoke is coming back in M15, and what it does is you can tap creatures to pay for the mana that they are in instead of tapping on lands, and you can return X target creature cards with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And again, white weenie cards is being supported like crazy, and with Return to the Ranks, you can see how it works out with such decks. So there you go. And next card we have for today's spoilers is Soul of Shandalar, our 6/6 avatar creature for 6 with first strike. You can pay 3 red, deals 3 damage to target player and 3 damage to up to 1 target creature that players control. Or you can pay the same, exile this from your graveyard, and it does the same. I think this is okay. It's of course a limited bomb, and being able to do extra stuff with your 5 mana is alright as well, but I don't think this is the best card as say Soul of New Phyrexia is. And moving on to our next card, we have Master of Predicaments, our 4/4 Sphinx creature for 5 with flying. Whenever you deal combat damage to a player, choose a card in your hand. The player guess whether the card's converted mana cost is greater than 4. If the player guesses wrong, you may cast the card without paying its mana cost. So very interesting mechanics here that Wizard is trying to do. Usually this sort of randomness or card guessing stuff I would associate with red, but with the blue spells is interesting as well. Would most probably fit in a Izzet deck. So Master of Predicaments. And next card for today that we have is Nixilis, Unshackled 4/4 demon legendary creature for 6 flying and trample. Whenever an opponent searches his or her library, that player sacrifices a creature and loses 10 life. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. This crazy card is an absolute bomb. It might be one of the best cards in M15 and definitely playable in EDH. Might be playable in Modern, but of course there are tons of better cards out there. But the ability to make the opponent loses 10 life and sack a creature whenever it searches his or her library is so annoying in EDH in many formats. And yeah, so there you go. Your legendary demon creature. And next card that we have is Aggressive Mining, our enchantment spell for 4. You can't play lands, sacrifice a land, draw 2 cards, and activate this ability only once each turn. And so what it means that you can sack a land and draw 2 cards on your opponent's turn as well. So this makes it extremely good. In EDH, you can just draw cards when you are at a late game. You don't need that much land. This card, if I'm not wrong, is designed by Mojang from Minecraft. And yes, in M15 there are a ton of cards being designed by game designers. Like the Genesis Hydra is from the designer from Plants vs Zombies, and this card is from Minecraft. So there you go, Aggressive Mining, pretty interesting card. And if you see the art, it is actually Minecraft graphics and design. So pretty awesome for all the Minecraft fans out there. And moving on to our next card, we have our Goblin Kaboomis, our 1/2 Goblin Warrior for 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a colorless artifact token named Landmine onto the battlefield with. You pay red, sacrifice this artifact, it does 2 damage to target attacking creature without flying. Then flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Goblin Kaboomis deals 2 damage to itself. So again, a pretty standard, random, wacky, crazy red card, Goblin Kaboomis. I love the flavor of this. Don't really think you'll see much play, but it's a very interesting card. And on to our next card that is being revealed, we have our Yisan the Wanderer Bard, our 2/3 human rogue legendary creature for 3. You can pay 2 green. Tap, put a verse counter on this creature, search a library for a creature card with converted mana cost equals the number of verse counter on Yisan, and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So basically, it is like your Green Sun Zenith, but instead it is on a body rather than a spell. And I think this is a pretty interesting card. I think it might see play as a 2/3 body is okay. With 3 mana, you can get it out pretty fast, but verse counter might be very slow if you want to get big creatures out, and it doesn't seem so with a green deck that usually want to summon super big creatures, so I am split about this. And on to our next card that we have for today, we have our Shield of the Vata, our equipment artifact for 1. If a source would deal damage to equipped creature, prevent X of that damage, where X is the number of creatures you control. Equip cost 2. And there you go, another card for your white Winnie deck. I have no idea why there's so many of these cards that support creatures. Might be the case in Theros with Bremas and all the crazy 1-drop white spells, white creature spells. And with Shield of the Avatar, I think this is actually better than I might start a lot of flaming for this, but I think it might be better than Godsend. Godsend is just too slow for a white Winnie deck, and I think this is much better to protect your Bremas and stuff like that. And next we have our Planeswalker being spoiled, our Liliana Vess. It is not Liliana of the Chainveil or something new. It is a reprint, our 5 loyalty Planeswalker for 5 mana with +1. Target player discards a card and -2, search your library for a card, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. And you can -8, put all creature cards from all graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So pretty much a bummer that there's no new Liliana being revealed, but it's okay. And on to the next card that we have for today, we have our Sliver Hive, our land card exclusively for our Sliver creature type. You can tap and add 1 to your mana pool. You can tap add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast a Sliver spell. You can pay 5, tap, put a 1/1 color Sliver creature token on the battlefield. Activate this ability only if you control a Sliver. And yes, Sliver is again coming back into M15, and Sliver Hive is technically or basically the one card that you will want if you're playing Slivers. It is extremely awesome. It is mana fixer with no setback if you're playing Sliver. And of course, the old Sliver art is back. And yes, Sliver fans rejoice with the new Slivers. But again, in M15, although Slivers are coming back, I still don't see Slivers being played in standard, as most of the Slivers that are useful are in M14, especially Mana Web Sliver, Gale Rider Sliver, and maybe your finishers such as your Death Cycle or Bone Cycle. Is it Death Cycle or Bone Cycle Sliver against Double Strike? So if those cards are not being printed, especially your Mana Web Sliver that just grants every Sliver with the ability to generate any mana, it's really quite hard to form a Sliver deck without much support from the previous set. So there you go. Although Sliver Hive, I am really excited about it. I still don't see Sliver being played in standard that much. And on to our next card, we have our Soul of Innistrad, our 6/6 avatar creature for 6 with Depth Touch. When its ability, you pay 5, return up to 3 target creatures from your graveyard to your hand, and you can do the same when this is in your graveyard. So there you go, this is another cycle of the souls. And on to our next card, we have another Planeswalker, and this time around Chandra Pyromaster is back. It's our 4 loyalty Chandra Planeswalker for 4. And you can +1, deals 1 damage to target player and 1 damage to up to 1 target creature, and that creature can't block this turn. You can take ability 0. Exile top card of library, you may play this turn, and -7 exile top 10 cards, and you can cast instant or source spell 3 times without paying its mana cost. So there go Chandra. Pyromaster is back. I would expect the value to maybe dip a little as it's a reprint. And onto our next card, we have our Obelisk of Und. How actually do you describe it? I have no idea. With Convoke, it costs 6. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type gets +2/+2. And yes, it is a very, very interesting card. If you're playing sleevers, this is absolutely crazy. You should put this in. It will be sort of like a coat of arms, sort of, or your sleever legion. But instead, it's just +2/+2. And of course, if you're playing White Winnie with a soldiers creature type, this is awesome as well. And on to our next rare card being spoiled. We have our next Planeswalker, Ajani Steadfast. It's our 4 loyalty Ajani Planeswalker for 4 with +1 until end of turn. Up to 1 target creature gets +1/+1 and gains first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. -2, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and a loyalty counter on other Planeswalker you control. Pretty interesting. And you get -7 with an emblem. If a source will deal damage to you or Planeswalker you control, prevent all but one of the damage. So I think Ajani, this Planeswalker is crazily good. It is what that you can save you. Having lifelink is super awesome. And the ability to just put a +1/+1 counter on all your creatures and potentially another Planeswalker, so might be encouraging dual Planeswalker play, might be seeing a Planeswalker and Friends deck coming out of this thing. So there go Ajani Steadfast. And next card we have our Soul of Theros. So this is the last soul being released as our 6/6 Avatar creature for 6 with vigilance. Creatures you control gets +2/+2 first strike and lifelink at the end of turn, and you can do the same when it's in your graveyard. And again, this is a super bomb. It might be the best limited bomb on top of Soul of Phyrexia, although I still think Soul of Phyrexia is overall better. But yep, late game this just wins you games. It's a win more card. It is also a card. It's also a card that just brings back the game for you. Giving your creatures +2/+2 first strike and lifelink is just really no joke. And pretty much your opponent won't be able to get back after that. And onto our next card, we have our Nissa World Waker, our 3 loyalty Planeswalker for 5. You +1 target land you control becomes a 4/4 elemental creature with trample. It is still a land. The second ability is +1 untap up to 4 target forests, and your -7 search your library for any number of basic land cards, put them on the battlefield, shuffle the library, those then becomes a 4/4 elemental creature with trample. They are still lands. This is extremely awesome, crazy. Might be one of the best Planeswalker in the set, along with Ajani. And being able to untap your forest every single turn, and untapping 4 forests every single turn is just unbelievable. So Nissa, your World Waker, in replacement of Garruk for your green Planeswalker. And onto our next card, we have our Avacyn Guardian Angel, our 5/4 Angel legendary creature for 5 with flying and vigilance. By itself is already crazy. You can pay 1 white, prevent all damage to be dealt to another target creature this turn by sources of the color of your choice. You can pay 5 and white. Prevent all damage to be dealt to target player this turn by sources of the color of your choice. So again, I think this is a limited bomb, and its ability is quite good as well. Although it can't protect itself, but still pretty awesome. And next card that we have for today is Perilous Vault. Our artifact for 4, you pay 5, tap, exile Perilous Vault, exile all non-land permanents. So basically it is your colorless Wrath? It's your colorless Wrath. So there you go, Perilous Vault, very good card in EDH. And next card I have is Phyrexian Revoker, our 2/1 horror artifact creature for 2. This card is crazy. As Phyrexian Revoker enters the battlefield, name a non-land card, and activated abilities of that card can't be activated. So there you go, Phyrexian Revoker. It is a reprint, and it is extremely awesome. It is a replacement for your Piffling Needle. So next card that we have for today, let's see, we have our Preeminent Captain, our 2/2 Kipkin Soldier for 3 with first strike. Whenever it attacks, you may put a soldier creature card from your hand onto the tab and attacking. So there you go, you can see tons of synergetic play that is being encouraged by wizards, soldiers, weenies, creatures. A lot of emphasis on creatures on the current sets though. So there you go. And next card that we have is Urbok, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Yes, this is reprinted in M15. It's our legendary land. Each land is a swarm in addition to its other land type. So pretty awesome. Thank you for reprinting this. I would love to have this in my collection. And as you can see, I think Wizards is setting up the foundation for the next set, Khans of Park here. And with all the mana fixes you will see later on, I think it is pretty obvious that we are getting a 3-color set in Khans. And the possibility of getting wedge colors is, I think, extremely high. If not, it might be your shards. It might be your shard color. And next card that we have for today is all your pain lands are reprinted. Yes, your Battlefield Forge. Add 1 to your mana pool, or you can add red or white to your mana pool and deals 1 damage to you. And next one we have our Yavimaya Coast, our Simic Pain Land. And next we have our Case of Kolios. It has just been reprinted in the modern event deck and is reprinted again. So there you go, I think it might be a chance for Wizards to do this. And next we have your Llanowar Wastes, it's our Golgari Pain Land. And next up we have our Shivan Reef, it's a Pain Land. And The last card as we have being spoiled today is Life Legacy, our sorcery spell for 2. As an additional cost, cast Life Legacy, sacrifice a creature. Draw cards equals to the sacrificed creature's power. And the art is extremely awesome. You can see a golden apple tree going up a unicorn. So really interesting. And I think this will be very, very good in a Golgari deck, graveyard deck. You just sacrifice a creature, draw cards, and just bring them back. So there you go. And this is all of the rare cards being spoiled thus far. And I'll be coming out with more spoilers by the end of the week and by next week as well until M15 comes out. And we are still expecting, if I'm not wrong, 2 Mythic Rare. Probably Garuk, and the other Mythic Rare would be the Mythic Sliver that we've been waiting for. So there you go. Hope you like this episode so far. As always, like support channel, please do hit like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.